Good morning YouTube, and compulsory weather forecast coming. As you can see, it's an absolutely gorgeous morning here in the UK this morning, and my challenge for today, or my task shall I say, is I've got to get a part from that car to this car. And what I'm actually changing, if we go underneath, ooh, here we go, old man now, is this part, the subframe. As you can see, it's absolutely rotten. Rust has eaten it away. That's what our winter British roads do with all the salt and moisture on them. So I'll quickly show you the other side. I've never done one of these before, so it'll be a bit of a challenge. It basically holds all the suspension and it's pretty structural to the rear of the vehicle, so it's very important, and it's failed an MOT. So an MOT in the UK is like a vehicle inspection, you know, make sure it's roadworthy, etc. So this is the one on the other side. The car, look, it's in a pretty good shape, so I'm going to take that one off and swap it with the other one. So wish me luck, as I've never done this before, and I'll let you know how I get on now in a second. Right, 2 bolts off so far, and you're very lucky I didn't film it for you, because there's quite a few explicits. There's 21 years of corrosion on there, so they did not volunteer themselves out, shall we put it. But we'll crack on. I'm going to attempt to take off this bad boy here, and another one behind there. There's one right in there somewhere, because I'm not sure if you have to do that from inside the boot or if the exhaust has got to come off. So we're about to find out. So I'm hoping it's done from, I don't know, oh, it's not looking good. I got a funny feeling the exhaust is going to have to come off, so that will not be fun. But we'll crack on, and we'll let you know how I get on. Not a job for the faint-hearted, guys. There's the exhaust. I've had to take that off so far. It's a heat shield, loads of nuts and bolts. Everything is properly rusted. You know, I must have spent an hour just trying to take the exhaust bolts off. So I've literally got, I think there's 4 more to take off. There's that big mother there, and a couple little ones there, and it has been very hard work so far. You got bits of rust falling in my eyes all the time when I'm trying to undo anything, and I mean, to get the exhaust off, I've had to put loads of heat on the bolts and everything, try to literally burn them off, and but we're getting there. But like I said, not a job for the faint-hearted. Hallelujah, hallelujah, it is out, the subframe, at long last. Lots of sweat and tears, and many disposable gloves. Have a close look there, you can see how badly corroded it was. So it was condemned, and just when you think you've nearly got it out, I think there's that bolt there and that bolt. So I'll just take the exhaust and get to that, and then you take the exhaust off. There's the what's it called, the roll bar or something that's in the way going across there, so I've got to undo that, snap a few bolts doing that, and lots more rust in the eyes, but at least I've had a practice go. Wheels had to come off, had to take that linkage off there, linkage off here. So, famous last sayings. Now I've done it once. Hopefully attempt number 2 is going to be a bit smoother. So but it's quite good actually. Now I've taken everything off, it exposes lots of things, and if any bits of corroded metal need to have attention, I can get to them nice and easily now. So I've got a nice blank canvas there to work through. But right, so that's stage 1, part 1 of getting this horrible thing I'll be having nightmares about tonight off, and we'll just repeat on the other side. I don't have to put it back on the older one because that vehicle's just for spares, so I'll just whip that one off, say it like it's really easy, and get it onto this vehicle. Wish me luck. Right, while the subframe's off, I've taken the opportunity to really sort of rub down a lot of the rusty metal and protect it. So I think you'll see it's looking a lot cleaner in there, but that anti-roll bar there, I'm going to take that off completely and swap it with the one on the other side. It looks in much better condition. Absolute headache to get off. It was properly, once again, just rusted in, and I don't know if you can see it, I've welded a new bit onto the exhaust. Ignore my dodgy welding, but I'm going to cut that back a bit because that's what slots into the other section that receives that then. But it was, you know, I can't buy a section of exhaust because that basically runs all the way from here to the front and past those sort of, I don't know if they're both catalytic converter, there'll be one catalytic converter or some sort of silencer to the other one, but that goes all the way to the front of the engine, so it would have been a very expensive job to replace that, so I managed to repair. So I'm going to crack on, but like you can see, it's looking a lot cleaner everywhere. Right, the brake on the rear driver's side was very weak, or the handbrake was rather, the brakes were fine. So the way this system works is in a sort of drum bit in the discs, if that makes sense, which it just operates the handbrake. So I thought, while I've got it all apart, sod it, I'm just going to totally rebuild the whole thing, so I'll put all brand new in there. So nice thing as well is I've got this one for reference, so I've already taken it apart, and this sort of explains it quite well. So you see you've got the shoes there, and then that just sits. Let me get him back on. And then you've got the discs on the outer part there as well. So I'm going to crack on with that. I've ordered the parts, they're not here for a few days. And then I'll take that side off and totally strip that. Just make sure there's plenty meat on the pads. I don't know if it'll show that, so I'm not worried about them. So it's just mainly the shoes are basically as old as the car, so the shoes are more or less 21 years old. I've got them in there, and all rusted to bits and everything, so we'll just all put brand new and it'll all be nice and fresh. So that is our next challenge. Right, I think you'll agree it's looking a lot better under here now. I've rubbed everything back down and painted, so I've done lots of rust protecting, so it's taking shape now. So, but if you're wondering what sort of product I use, once I rub everything down, back to sort of get most of the rust off, I put this product on, which supposed to convert the rust into something that's not so threatening, and then paint over it basically. So we'll crack on. Right, we're ready for all that. Can you see all them bits and bobs? That box is full of service bits as well for the engine, oil filters, etc. And of course I refurbished the anti-roll bar link as well, and all those joins. New shoes, pads, ready to go back on there. And there's even a few other little bits and bobs in here which have got to go in there. Well, it's all nice and clean as well under here, painted and rust-proofed, or rust-proofed first rather than painted up as best as possible to give it a bit of a longevity. So let's crack on. So I'll start off, I'll get it all back together, and really looking forward to it. So it's been a completely whole new brake system, all the subframe, sort of suspension components, etc. Should be really nice and fresh. Isn't this looking the business now? Got the new subframe on, and also got, I don't know if you can see it, let's see if we swing around this way, or just about, there's the new anti-roll bar as well, all on. So we'll carry on. It'll be there's a heat shield and the exhaust, and I put some new anti-roll bar links in as well. So, well, I haven't put them in, but that's next as well. So we'll just join everything back up, all the suspension arms, etc. And hopefully before long we'll be able to go for a test drive. Right, a little bit of a tricky thing to try to film, but it's practically all done in here now. We got all the swing arm and everything connected, the anti-roll bar, and I put new anti-roll bar links in as well. Heat shields back on, the exhaust still got to be connected. I did weld a new part on there, so that should do the trick. And then the last job, once I connect the exhaust, is I've got all new, brand new, totally shoes and pads to put on there as well. So we'll get those on, and it'll be happy days. There's the old shoes. They're yeah, they're as old as a car, so they're about 21 years old. Never ever been touched from day one. And look at that, eh? I'm a simple man, this is what excites me. So they only serve as the handbrakes, as I've said before. So I've even not missed out the disc there. They've had the old paint treatment, and I don't know whether people would agree with me there, but there's a little lip just there, and I've just ground it off. So I just use the grinder, and they'll go back on there, and loads of meat on the old pads there, but nonetheless I'm going to put new ones on because I've spent so much effort getting the discs nice again. So very nearly there, but it's all looking shape and shiny. New brake pads done. Those lovely nice clean rotors I had on the other day. A little bit of rain overnight, never mind, it'll soon rub off. But very glad, even though I didn't need to put on new pads. There's the old ones. The pins had seized quite badly in there. The I can't think what they're called now, the sliding pins. So gave them all a good clean up and a grease up, so everything's nicely lubricated and moving nicely. So worth doing anyway, you know. Just so the calipers have had a good overhaul, the shoes have had a good overhaul, adjusted the handbrake. It's just a couple clicks and it's coming on. It's really nice. So crack on, do the other side, and I'm just going to change the track on, not the track ends, come on Alva, anti-roll bar links on the front as well, because it picked it up on the MOT. There's a little bit of play. It wasn't a fail, but I thought, what the heck, I'll get them done anyway. So I'll do that. We'll get the wheels on, and hopefully, oh no, one last very important job, because otherwise I'm going to sound like a tank driving down the road. Get the exhaust on as well. I've had to take the center console off, which is a right pain, to adjust the handbrake. So that's the adjustment there. So, but it's adjusted to its maximum position. So perhaps in a year or two, it'll probably need a new handbrake cable because it's stretched now. You know, after 21 years of use. but at the moment it's working really nicely. Just a couple clicks and the handbrake's working. So put all that back together, and the next job just to change the front roll anti-bar link, and will be job done. There we are, she's purring like a kitten again. I didn't think I'd notice much difference, but there is definitely a difference. Doesn't sound so clunky anymore. I changed the anti-roll bar links on the front as well. And what other jobs they do? I ended up having to get a new battery for it because it's been sat around for so long it wasn't holding its charge. And there was an exhaust leak which I had to do quite a bit of welding for, but it is riding superbly now. So I'm about to take it for its what they call an MOT in the UK. So everything's working really nice. The brakes feel really sharp as well. So they're really nice. The new pads, new shoes. So all in all, very pleased with it. And it's a very old, well, I say very old. It's Y reg, so it's 21 years old now. But a lot of garages I go to, they say, oh, so what's the point, you know, get rid of it. But you know, it might have cost me a couple £100 to get it back on the road now, but it's a lot cheaper than trying to buy a car, and it's running lovely, the body's in good shape. So hopefully keep it going for a few more years. Just the usual like and subscribes, and heading up to nearly you know, we're on track towards 1,000 subscribers, so get me there if you can, and that would be very much appreciated. Until the next video, goodbye and thank you very much.